Quite a few of us on this evening, and yeah, Jeff, I'll acknowledge you coming in through HX this evening. So the running order for the moment is Eddie, G6MJQ, Nick, G4IWO, Dave, G6SFSM, Andrew, M0RLL, and Jeff, Oscar November 8 November Tango. So we'll go right to the top of the list and start off with you, Adrian. I also noticed that Paul, G0TVB, has got 2 logins at the moment, been on for 2 or 3 days. Paul, if you want to join in, that's absolutely fine. But I think you just prefer to listen, so I won't be calling you in unless you say you want to join the meeting. And also to GB7HX, thank you, Malcolm, for the use of the facility. I noticed Jeff is in there from Belgium at the moment, and anybody else who wishes to join. Over to you there, AG6MJQ in the group M0AEG. M0AUG, 36MJQ, using a fusion radio, the open spot converting it to 305 Delta. Yeah, so I know you can hear me, or at least I know Nick can. We had a brief chat earlier. Yeah, another cold, dull day here, but I've been out and about. I've been up since before 6 this morning because I was chairing a fusion-only net this morning. Guest chair for the 3rd time at 7 o'clock, and yeah, quite enjoy it. What have I done? Mainly, with the terrible conditions on HS, I've been focusing on fusion. Been using, certainly when I chair the nets, etc., I use my WiseX personal data node that I've set up, and working well. So there you go. The donor radio is the FT2D with the special cable into the computer. Oh, strange people walking by the front garden. Very strange. Apologies for the distraction there. So yeah, we're good here. Early meal tonight, Sylvia cooked. So great. At least I can get onto this net and not cooking at this time. So that's a good thing. Back to you, Jeff. M0AUG from G6MJQ. G6MJQ in the group M0AUG, you're returning. Yeah, fine, thanks, Mary. It's good to have you back on the net again. I know you've been confined to shipping duties for quite a while on Thursday evening, so it's good to have you back on there. Whatever you're going out on in the radio, you're actually coming through on DCS, which is D-Star into this reflector here. So very good on what you were able to do with that. And thanks for the contact earlier on the email when we were discussing the ways forward. Right, over to you then, Nick. G4IWO in the group, M0AUG. Good evening, Nick.
M0AUG in the group from G4IWO. Yeah, thank you very much, Jeff, and good evening to everyone on the net this evening. Just a couple of things in starting off. First of all, I'd very much like to send our regards to Bob N4XAT and his wife Kathy, who have had a very, very sad family loss, which has taken Bob away from home and off air while they deal with that. And I'm sure on behalf of everyone, you'd like me to send him yet again the best wishes from all the club members, and particularly from those of us on the digital net. The second thing is just to remind people we are live on YouTube, and good evening to our YouTube listeners live, and good evening to those who, or good day to those who catch up later during the week. I just want to report that we had a request from Malcolm, the keeper of GB3HD and GB7HX, repeaters in Huddersfield, that they suffered a loss recently due to a break-in and were seeking a donation from Denby Dale Radio Club to help ensure that the repairs could be carried out. And the club agreed at the committee meeting last night that we would meet the cost of the repairs in total. So Malcolm has sent me a note back just expressing thank you to Denby Dale Radio Club, and I think that's the very least we could do for providing these two repeaters. In giving me an update, Malcolm also confirmed that work is progressing on a third repeater there, GB3HU, which will be a 2-meter analog repeater, but it does have the possibility of also being a D-Star linked repeater, and that's something that he's working on. So watch this space for news. And the third thing is, for those of you who are on the WhatsApp group, Flannan Isles is to the west and north of the Isle of Lewis, is going to be activated this year by Nobby, G0, JVG, and a group of other radio hams, and they're seeking some assistance, which I said I would try and coordinate to enable some message passing from the group of amateurs there back to the mainland that we can then pass on phones to the people they need us to contact. So please have a look at the WhatsApp message for that. And very finally, just a message and good evening to Bob, who's listening on YouTube tonight. Thank you very much indeed. And thank you, Bob's passed his regards on to everyone on the net this evening, and delighted to have you listening to us, Bob, and we look forward to seeing you back here in the future. So our very, very best wishes to you. So back to you, Jeff. M0 AUG in the group, G4IWO.
G4IWO in the group, M0AUG returning. And I noticed that DL1BJW is with DLABDT. I'm also logged on, so we'll pick you up after Jeff, Oscar, November 8, November Tango. Yeah, finally up there, and yeah, best wishes to Bob, and thank you for the email acknowledgement there, Bob, and we hope things work out so reasonably for you. And also to Malcolm, thank you for bringing to our attention at the club the problems you're having on the repeater side, and also thanks to the Denby Dale Amateur Radio Society for helping to pick up the costs on that one there, if you're monitoring the net this evening. Good. Over to you there, Dave. I'll see you for a week or two, I think. 3 weeks, in fact. G6 listening in the group, M0AG. Good evening down in Taunton, and hope all is well with you.
M0AUG in the group. Yeah, good evening, Jeff, and good evening, everyone else here. Yeah, I thought I only missed last week, and for the life of me, I'm afraid I can't remember why I missed last week. Oh yes, I can. My daughter was here. I think that's a good enough reason. We went out for meals, and then she was here for a couple of days before we kicked her out the country, and she went back to Belgium. I did tell her to look up Jeff and play Kim instead of me. So look out, Jeff. You might get bamboozled. Yeah, it was nice, and we had some nice little days out, but she's a very, very big whirlwind, and we're not. We're very sedate, so it was nice to say goodbye in the end, resume our very sedate lifestyle. But yeah, we'll see you again next year, no doubt, and that'll be another year. I played with this and the 7100 on D-Star, and I actually managed to get myself all lined up, and I'm not using the normal settings. I'm actually using something else now. If my hotspot, what am I using? I'm using Ref001C to come through. I actually worked out how to log on to Denby Dale, and the fact that you have logged me on proves that for once you've done something right. So it's a learning curve yet again, but getting there. And I'm trying now to set the 7100 up in the car as a mobile. M0 AUG in the group G6, as I said.
G6 fellas are in the group, but M0 AUG returning. Okay, fine on that, Dave, and yes, you were correct. I've just checked back over the last few weeks, and it was only last week that you did miss, so no apologies there. And obviously, we all have other distractions that come along from time to time. Don't I know that? You know, no problems at all there. Good to see you've got yourself set up now on the 705 there, and I don't know if you are actually coming in through the reflector one, Charlie, there. But if you get any disconnections there, Dave, it might be because the reflector one tends to get rather overloaded as the biggest reflector in the US as well. So there we are. But enjoy the 705. Quite a few of us have got the 705s now, and I certainly enjoy mine. Beautiful radio. Over to you there, Andrew. M0RLL in the group. M0RUG. Hope all is well here.
M0AUG in the group M0RL. Yes, good evening, Jeff, and good evening everyone else on the net tonight, and also YouTube. Apologies for last week. I was picking my wife up from Taunton railway station, and it was a late train, so I didn't get back in time to actually get on the net, unfortunately. So apologies for that. I should have sort of dropped you an email when I got back. All is well in my head. It keeps threatening to rain. The weather forecast. In some ways that's good. In other ways it means that I've got to go up and water the allotment and carry lots of watering cans of water to water the veg that's going. So you can't win either way, can you, on that one? But no, it hasn't been too bad a day, really. Band's a bit dead though, but I guess it's still these solar fluids that's coming out. And I'm glad, Dave, that you're getting the British 7100. I used mine in earnest on Exmoor a couple of weeks ago, and it is a cracking radio, even though it's now a little bit old compared with some of the newer flavours that's come out, but still an extremely good radio. Back to you on this one, Jeff. M0AUG in the group. This is M0ROL.
M0ROL in group, M0AUG returning. That's fine enough, Andrew, and fine on all the activities down there. And we'll go over now to Belgium and our friend Jeff, Oscar November 8, November Tango. Before that, just acknowledging that Fraser's connected to us at the bottom. I'll bring you in, Fraser, after Mike and Algera from Germany. Over to you there, Jeff. Hope all is well with you. Oscar November 8, November Tango in the group, M0AUG.
M0AUG, the group 8 November Tango. A very good evening to everyone, wherever you are. Nice setup here. Well, first of all, sorry to hear about Bob and his family problems there. That's really sad news. Yesterday in the meeting we already talked very briefly about that, and nice, Nick, that you sent him a message from our behalf, that he already responded to that, so that's good. Also, a very good evening to everyone on the YouTube channel. That's also very interesting. Nice to hear you or see you there, all guys. And also the 7100. I think that's a really, really interesting transceiver. I'm not sure if they are still producing it, but I think I have been tempted quite some time to have one. Although for the moment I don't see any use, but it could be a nice portable transceiver, probably also offering some 100 watts or something. Okay, so weather-wise we have about 20 degrees. Today was a whole day with heavy rain, some lightning and some thunderstorms, so not much on HF. Well, the conditions have not been good at all during the last couple of days, so I probably don't miss that much. This evening I had a short QSO with Ken and Echo Alpha 5, which went well, but then he disappeared into the noise. So so conditions are really unstable. So back to you, Jeff. Mike 0 AUG, the group of 8 November Tango.
M0. 8 November Tango in the group M0 AUG, returning your final out, Jeff, and I think you joined us this evening as usual. And what we'll do now is go over to Northern Germany and bring in Mike and Adriana. So it's DL1BJW with DL8 BDT, M0 AUG in the group. Good evening to you both, and please take it, Mike.
Delta Lima 1 Bravo Juliet Whiskey. Very good evening to all of you. I'm glad to hear your voices all again, and it's nice to be a part of the meeting again. Greetings from Adriana. She will be QRV on the next over. She just now got an urgent telephone call, so she can't participate in this over, but will be later on. And very good to know that Bob, that and for XAT, you are listening on YouTube channel. I'm glad about that, and our very best wishes to you. And radio-wise, I have to admit that I have nothing to report because of the situation in the cosmos, so to speak. The CME and solar storms and so on prevented me from doing much on the HF bands. There were some odd FT8 contacts, but nothing spectacular, nothing new. And so we used the opportunity, or took the opportunity to delve into our garden, our back garden and our front garden, which is both it's very tiny, but nevertheless it tends to be overgrown, and from time to time you have to start quite a campaign to get this into hand again, and I think we succeeded. We've done several days there, and now it's fairly presentable, so we are satisfied with the outcome. And the WX has been exemplarily good since Monday here. Just 2 hours ago was a little bit of rain starting, but the other days it was absolutely warm and agreeable and dry. But nevertheless, rain is welcome from time to time if it's not in the flooding sense as we had at the end of last year and the beginning of this year. And of course, it's essential for the plants. So everything is okay this way. And passing the microphone to M0AUG and the group.
DL1BJW, good evening there, Mike, and hope all is well up at your end as well. M0AUG returning to the group. And Bob, you know all the team on here are thinking about you, and I know you've had emails with some of us anyway, and we hope all goes as well as can be expected. I look forward to having you back on the group. You're a very important member of this group as well, Bob. Right, over to Fraser then. Oscar 01, Juliet Kilo uniform, M0AUG in the group. Hope all is well, Fraser.
Well, greetings from Denmark, and a bit like everybody else, conditions have been so poor, nothing's really happened. A question to you, what happens on 40 meters on 7200? There's a very, very strong German net on there, and okay, they're on the side band, they're right on the edge of the band, but they do splash over into the broadcast band. I wonder if anybody's complained about that. But there's a very, very big group
And today, just about audible because conditions are awful, and it's been like that for, well, since we had the last Friday's fireworks. Didn't see anything here, unfortunately, due to the fact we had heavy cloud. But the whole of this week, we've had sunshine and very, very, very strong wind from the southeast, which has been warm. 22 degrees today, and it's going to be like that for the next 3 hours, so that's great. Bob, good to hear that you're around. We've missed you on various nets. And if you can give us a shout on either WhatsApp or Skype or something like that, just to give us an idea of what you've been doing, be very interested. So hopefully you're having a good time and all's well with you. Super. That's about it for me because, as I said, the conditions have been pretty, well, CRAP and due to but that's life, isn't it? And maybe there's more to come by looking at the sun in the last couple of days. So maybe we'll have even worse conditions. You never know. Okay, back to you, Gareth. No, Gareth, what am I talking about, Jeff? M0, a bit of a mess because I lost my dongle, so I've come on in a bit of a rush and I haven't really listened around, so I don't know what's going on. But anyway, M0 AUG, OZ1 JKU in the back.
Oscar Zulu 1, Juliet Kilo Uniform. Sorry to report complete breakup for the last 2 minutes on that, Fraser. And I hope to pick you up again next time on some of the missing items there. We were okay until we were talking about bad conditions and also the station operating at 7.2. But after that, it just went completely. Right to the top of the list again. G6MJQ in the group, M0AEG. M0AUG, G6MJQ. Yeah, well, Fraser wasn't that bad here. So that's interesting. And yeah, well, powers of fusion. At least the radio's fusion up until the open spot 4. And there we are. And the weather's been cold the last few days, rain and what have you. And did manage to cut the lawn last week, or one of the lawns, but not the other, get some gardening done because Frankie HF was pretty useless. And well, for me, with the high noise level here, it just exaggerated the noise from the solar panels from the house behind us. And I've been in contact with the fitter, with the company that fitted it, and trying to come up with a solution, but it's taking ages. I think I'll have to threaten them with Ofcom or something. I've been told that they charge about £85 an hour to come out and investigate, chargeable to the faulty party, but I welcome comments and advice on that one. And the excitement here was, of course, last Friday evening, the Aurora, Northern Lights. My daughter rang me. I knew it was threatened, but my daughter rang me late evening saying, "Have you seen them? We're up in the Lake District, i.e. the northwest of England." And they'd seen them and really excited. Sent me a message or phone call, said, "Dad, have you seen it?" And I went out and I looked up and I thought, can't see anything, but there's a strange effect in the sky. And I was looking right out to the north, expecting on the northern horizon. Then I looked up above the house, above the bungalow, and there were like streamers of cloud coming down. And I couldn't immediately because I got, lighting on in the bungalow, so not good night vision, so I didn't detect the colour. But then I pointed my phone at it, and use the night mode and extended exposure 10 seconds with image stabilization. And suddenly, wow, the colours came out. And then with a bit more enhancement, we got some quite fantastic photographs. So I was very pleased with that. And just take a bit. G6MJQ. Yeah, best wishes, Bob. Understand you're listening there. So, yeah, hope things go okay for you. Now, I'll put it back to you, Jeff. There's not a lot of HF news. So, M0 AUG from G6MJ. G6MJ, queuing the group M0AU2, turning. Yeah, fine on that. You're absolutely right, the HF bombs with me over on the file course have been absolutely dead. But looking around the reports, I think that's been a general thing. Although there have been some bright lights in there, and if you, obviously the YouTube channel will, the WhatsApp channel rather, will tell you what Ken's been able to achieve from down near Alicante there. Over to you there, Nick, Chief. Right, we were in the group M0AUG.
Yes, M0AUG in the group from G4IW. Yeah, no problem. And like everyone else, suffering with the loss of HF radio over the past week. It's been very, very strange conditions, even though the propagation has started to improve. I gave a CQ call out yesterday morning on 20 meters, and the most extraordinary number of hits on the reverse beacon network right the way across the US from the east to the west coast. But of course, no one at all from the US on air that I could hear, and very, very few stations around. And it's been like that really since certainly on 20 and 40. So taking a leaf out of Mike and Adriana's books, I've been doing work in my garden as well, and doing some repointing of all the paving slabs on our paved area in the garden. So that's been quite hard work, mixing the water and filling all the holes and tidying it all up. Not quite finished, but it's been a worthwhile job to do. I'd like to just thank Jeff, ON8NT, for his report to the club committee last night on the digital net, and what a great net we've got, and great group of people who regularly meet, and inviting more people to take part. So thank you, Jeff, for that. It was much appreciated. So back to you, Jeff. M0AUG in the group, G4IWO.
G4IWO in the group, M0AUG. Yes, why don't I, Nick? If you want to talk offline at some stage about the digital net and the committee meeting last night, then no problem at all. But obviously, Jeff was standing our corner there. Over to you there, David. G6 in the group, M0AUG.
M0AUG in the group, G6ZSN. Thanks, Jeff. Bob, all the best out there in America. I hope things, I don't think they will improve, but I hope they get better for you. Andrew, yeah, I've had to get some perspex, and luckily Chris across the road had a very large sheet of what looks like 2 mil. I've made up a template to go where the cup holders are in my car, and I'm now going to cut the perspex to suit. I bought a stand which will go onto the 700 with a suction cap cup on the bottom, so I can quickly remove it. Once that's done, then it won't take me much to get the back end in and wired up. I'll take some antennas with me and rig up a very small stub aerial for digital, and get a hotspot wired in as well. And then I'll be mobile again, which will make a change. I haven't been mobile for quite a long time, apart from a handy every so often. But see what happens. I need the weather, and I also need the time, because I've started work again, and I've started driving up to a point, Plus, I'm now working for a charity for my illness, so I don't have a lot of time. I don't know where it's all gone. But I would have gone up on the hills this afternoon. It was a lovely day, but as everyone has said, the HF bands are a washout. I actually went on them about 2 o'clock one morning, and I went through every band, and there was zilch. So I turned off in disgust and went in and watched TV. Not the same thing, I will admit, but at least it kept me entertained for a few hours until my wife got up. M0AUG in the group, G6ZSN.
G6ZSN in the group, M0AUG turning. Yeah, fine, I'm not Dave, and it looks like you're enjoying the 705. And your signal was absolutely perfect coming through the 705, so you must have got the balance right with that and your hotspot, and it's just really working well there for you. And fine on all your other activities. There we go, we take on all these things, don't we, Dave, and then we wonder where the time's gone. Over to you there, Andrew. M0RL in the group, M0AUG.
M0AUG in the group, M0RL. Yes, firstly, Bob, I hope things are okay for you on that one. If you're listening, our thoughts are with you. Radio-wise, well, as you know, HF is dead, but I was on a RayNet event just over a week ago on Exmoor, which was the Exmoor Challenge. It's a children's challenge. There's 500 children taking part. Having to navigate a 16-mile walk over some of the remotest parts of Exmoor in groups of 4 or 6. And I was on the midpoint checkpoint. We did start off having some issues. We were working 2 meters at 70 cents, which gives us a little bit of flexibility. But on 2 meters, we were extremely close to a Welsh repeater. And because we were high up and the conditions were right, it was interfering with our signal. So that took a little bit of a while to sort out. But yes, it was nice to get out with the radio. But no one, I think, got lost. Some took a rather long time to do the 16 miles, and some were having to be pulled out because they were run out of time. But so that proved to be quite a nice event. And there's 3 coming out very shortly. For those that know the area, there's a walk from Wells to Weston-super-Mare. We're marshalling, or we're helping the marshals on that one. There's the Mendip Murmuration, which the fact that it's associated with birds. There's a mountain raid across the Mendips. There's one in Blaze Capital, which is Parkinson's. Italian coming up on that one. So, but yes, thankfully we're not working HF. I think that it may be a little bit more before it improves on that one. I was reading today that they reckon it's the height of the 11-year sunspot cycle, and things can only be downhill from now on. But it's disappointing that we have all these issues at the moment. Anyway, back to you, Jeff. M0AUG in the group. This is M0RL.
M0RL in the group, M0AUG saying, yeah, fine enough, Andrew, and thanks for the update on things in your area. And I think you've been experiencing everything that we've been experiencing up on the north side up here, and HF has been absolutely abysmal. It was just one of those things, wasn't it? We can't get anywhere with anything, and thank goodness we've got net flyers to be able to continue to keep in touch with each other. Now, I know 1 or 2 people have logged in and out, but I'll keep to the original batting order. So over to you, Jeff in Belgium. Oscar November 8, November Tango in the group, M0AUG.
M0AUG, the group for 8 November. Well, I changed to the reflector because I had had some dropouts from the repeater, strangely enough. I don't know why that is, but anyway, I changed I changed to the reflector, and everything is okay now. So I have no clue. Okay, yeah. Today, you remember the 2 letters that I sent to you in January with some QSL cards and things like that. I received them back today. We are May. So I sent that to you in January, and I received both letters today back in my mailbox, and they say return to sender. There is a yellow sticker on it. Return to sender, not deliverable, as addressed, unable to forward, something like that. So, yeah. But anyway, I will put them in a new envelope and send them back Rob, no problem at all. And I wish you all the best there. You have our support from me and from everyone, I think, and also from my wife. And okay, about HF conditions, well, I must say that 6 meters has been open. And on Sunday morning, I was even able to work Western Sahara, which is a nice one, I think, and also Gibraltar, which is not that difficult, but anyway, always a nice one. So please, if the conditions are not good, give 6 meters a try. You will be surprised how good that works. And okay, Adrian, about your Aurora adventures, fascinating. I really think that is fascinating, but I haven't seen anything here because we had some clouds, so we haven't seen anything. I think yesterday yesterday I looked to a YouTube video from Golf 3 Oscar Juliet Victor from Waters and Stanton, and he was describing the mini beam, which was quite an interesting video. I think he explained how it works. But the interesting thing is that you can actually use the driver on its own without the reflector and without the reflector and the director. I'm right. Yeah, so you can use the driver on its own. It's about 7 meters long. It's a dipole about 7 meters long, fed by open line and an antenna tuner, and that seems to work between 14 megahertz and 30 megahertz. So that's from 20 meters to 10 meters and every band in between. So that really looks like being an interesting option to cover all these bands. And if you make it if you make it rotatable, it would be even more interesting, I think. But anyway, even as a dipole in a small garden, that might be an interesting possibility. I really recommend that video. Very, very interesting. Okay, back to you, Jeff. Mike 0 AUG, Grupo in 8 November Tango.
I'm in the group, I'm 0 AUG. Yeah, fine, man, Jeff, and thanks for the update. And I think you better coming back on to the reflector. There seems to be some issues maybe with HX. No problem at all, absolutely clear and crystal this time around. And thanks for the update on the WNS YouTube channel. I'll pick up that one later. We've had quite a bit going on here just recently, so I don't think it's like YouTube and what have you. Well, it's all in Germany now, and Mike and hopefully Adrian as well. The BJW with the LAPDT in the group, M0 AUG. Good evening to Adrian if you're back with us. Over to you, Mike.
Delta Lima 1 Bravo Juliet Whiskey. Yeah, Adriana has returned. She's finished her call, or the caller has finished to call her, and will be on shortly. First of all, word to Fraser in Denmark, mentioning the German ham radio group there on 7.200 megahertz. I've encountered them several times, and I've not participated in this round because I'm also a little bit I'm a little bit opinionated because they're using 7.200, but they try to convince me that this is actually inside the band, and because it's lower sideband they are using, of course, on 40 meters, there should be no splatter into the radio band that is above 7.200, but only into the amateur radio band below 7200. And actually, I've encountered that this was right. When I listened in, there was no splattering above 7200, but only strong signals below that. But okay, that's as it may be. But I wanted to mention that I myself wouldn't transmit on a frequency right at the edge of the band. That's too difficult and too dangerous, I think. To the Northern Lights, yeah. Northern Lights here at our QTH, and we even used the iPhone to see if with a long, how do you call it? If you put it on the camera on for a long time, if you could see something. We did see a little bit of color there, but not much, and with the naked eye there was nothing. But I heard that only 20 miles to our north there have been northern lights, so perhaps another time. But it's a pity. And this weekend there's the Pentecost weekend, I think you call it, and there will be a field day on this weekend of our local ham radio group on a farm nearby, and this will be with a lot of barbecuing and a flea market and whatnot. And so I think we will be visiting for one afternoon on Sunday, preferably, to look into it and to renew some acquaintances there. So something to look forward to. Okay, so these are our plans for the near future, HI. And now I pass the microphone to Delta Lima 8 Bravo Delta Tango.
Yeah, this is Delta Lima 8 Bravo Delta Tango for the group. Very good evening. It's nice to be able to talk to you. Unfortunately, I had got this urgent telephone call, but it's now finished, and it's good to be with you again. So Mike just had reported about the weather conditions here in northern Germany, which have been quite good. And we used the good weather to make some experiences in our small garden. And yes, I think we told you that we had some works in our cellar during the past weeks, and it was a cellar where we also had our clothes dried via clothing line, and we had to put this down and to buy a new one. And when I came home with a new one, new clothes line from the local shop, we looked at it and we saw, oh, it's 20 meters long, and it's a very strong steel wire inside it, and it might be tunable. And so we put one of the clothesline to the cellar, and we bought another one which cost about £2 or a little bit less. And yes, then we sat in the garden, and I matched it with the 1 to 49 Anan from QRP guys, and put out my USDX transceiver, and we made a nearly crazy solution of the wire. We've put it a little bit up and then straight down the hedge, and then a little bit back, and we meshed it on, and I thought it must be tunable on to 40 meters because it was 20 meters long, but this didn't work. But on 20 meters, I put out some CQ calls in CW, and on PSK reporter, I was twice in Slovenia, about 900 kilometers away from here, with 5 watts on CW and with a strange equipment. It's really not a real antenna. If you would make this version with the X antenna wire, the X wire, it would be much better, but it was quite crazy and nice. Yes, this was the experience for these weeks, and my Zygo G90 didn't return up until now, and I think tomorrow I have to make a phone call to the guy who will do the repairing work, if he has a clue what to do, or if it will last a little bit longer. So I will report next time. So microphone back to M0AUG for the group.
TLABD3 with you on the JW. Yeah, always interesting on things like antennas, and there's a lot of theory around things like that that say things shouldn't work. But I'm afraid I've always been of the opinion, if you do it, you won't know whether it works until you actually try it. So get on with it and give it a go. And obviously, you know, a lot of the time you get the results you don't expect. So well done on that one. Right, back over to Denmark now and see if Fraser's back with us with a better signal. Oscar Zulu 1, Juliet Kilo uniform in the group, M0AG.
Jose 1JK2 at the group. Hopefully I'm better now. Rebooted everything. The dongle I had mislaid and just punked it into the port, and obviously didn't cover that properly. Anyway, hopefully it's better this time. Just to give you give a check, please, Jeff, so that people don't hear rather horrible audio.
Yes, much better this time, Fraser. And the volume a little bit down on previous, but perfectly readable. Back to you.
I don't have much control over the audio side of it at all. I'm using a blue DME, blue DV dongle, AMI 3000, and it does its own thing. But I couldn't find it just earlier on, but anyway, put it in. So hopefully you can hear us. Not that I'm very interested in anyway. Yeah, of the WX, I'm not sure we heard about that. Next 3 or 4 days, we've got 22 degrees coming, so very nice indeed. And anybody listening who deals with subs to the club, I paid my dues the other day and heard nothing back. But that's only just the by and by. 6 meters has been throbbing over this last few days since we've had the big aurora. And South Africa, South America, and various other places. But HF has been a bit hit and miss, as you said. But I did actually get a station in France, which is something to do with Napoleon down there, a TM200 Charlie Fox. And that's the only thing on 20 meters. And I went back, and he came back and gave me a 5.9 plus 20, which is crazy, really and truly, because it shouldn't have worked. Anyway, it did, which is quite nice. Andrew, just reduce the audio gain a little bit, just a touch. It's just a bit overdriving, I think, in my opinion, but anyway, that's by and by. 7200 is, Joseph, is, yeah, I agree with you. It's inside the band, but the spatter does happen. There is one of them who lives in Hamburg. No, I'm listening local here. He's about 1 kilohertz up on the 200. Splat, splat, splat. And that, of course, is my thing. If they went down to 7198, that would be acceptable in my book. But anyway, don't worry. That's just a gripe. And I'm full of gripes as normal. Anyway, good to hear everybody. And nice to contact everybody after a few weeks off. I'll be a bit hit and miss, unfortunately, because I've got lots of things going on some evenings on a Thursday, and it's not a good time for me. But that's life. So back to you, Jeff. M0AUG 0Z1JP.
Was it one JK? You're in the group M0AG telling. No fine in that phrase last time, and that's absolutely okay. And well done. Thank you for joining the club as well. And I'm sure the administration side will catch you with your correspondence as you go along there, and it'll be recorded on there. So just give it time, and I'm sure things will catch up with themselves. I don't know whether you actually just got on the. Yes, you are. You are on the members list. I've just been onto the club website, and you are member number 53 on the website there. So there you are. Not a problem at all. So I can confirm that you are a member, and the administration side will no doubt catch up in due course. Not the time of party to anything like that at all. So thanks for joining the club. We do appreciate it. Okay, back to the top of the list now. Chili 6MJQ in the group, M0AG.
M0AUG G6MJQ in West Yorkshire. Yeah, gosh, I've made quite a few notes. So I won't go through all of them, but Dave, glad you're back driving there and doing a bit. Yeah, that's good news. And Andrew Raynette, the Explore Challenge. Well, last Saturday, my son-in-law was on the ultra marathon in the Lake District. They started at 6 in the morning, and they got to finish 6. They had to finish by 6 the next morning, 24 hours. And it's 47 miles, a circuit of 47 miles, up and down all the hills, through the woods, along the paths, rough ground and everywhere. 47 miles, and Steve did it in less than 18 hours. His target was to do it in 18 hours. But he did suffer going down the hills. One of his knees packed up a bit, and somebody loaned him a knee support, and he was absolutely shattered afterwards. He just wanted to get into a hot bath and have a bowl of chocolatey cornflakes or something, some breakfast cereal. Oh dear. Oh, nobody's mentioned 145 Alive in the UK last Saturday. It's only on for 3 hours, early afternoon, but yeah, it certainly brought some stations out of the woodwork. I worked a station, even with an internal 5/8 mobile antenna. I worked a station right over just outside Bradford, admittedly on high ground, and one or two other stations, and then it was Mills on the area in the UK last weekend. So the Black Dart Mills mill, also famous for its brass band, that was on and blasting through as well. But nice to see some activity on 2 meters. Really enjoyed that. And somebody said that we'd maxed out on the latest solar cycles, sunspot cycle. I thought it was to be next year. But I think, just take a test. I think you can get a dip, and then it goes up again in past years. No, it's not sort of really typically smooth and normal curve in any means whatsoever. So we will see. We won't know until it happens. But certainly the CMA activity has really put the kibosh on it, hasn't it? And geomagnetic activity, K numbers up towards 7, 8, 9. apparently yesterday it was down to 1, but I didn't get anywhere. So yeah, what else? 6 meters open. I did have a listen, but nothing there. And yeah, interesting that you, Mike and Andriana, you mentioned Pentecost and the festivities there for Pentecost. So that must mean that this weekend's Pentecost, and then the following weekend is Whitsuntide, which we don't really celebrate. Did us when I was a child. So yeah, and good with the washing lines there. You might try 1 to 9 on them as well, Ballard. And then I think you said 1 to 49. You might get a better result with 1 to 9, and you might be surprised how little difference it does make. I use a 1 to 9 on mine end of long wire, and on the 897 I can work pretty well any band 40 along to 10 meters without a tuner. So and I do monitor the SWR while I'm transmitting. Right, quickly back to you, Jeff. M0AUG. I've lost practice, you see. I can't remember your call sign now. Apologies. I've been off there for so long. M0AUG. Thanks for sharing, Jeff. Keith and MJQ.
26 MJQ in the group, M0AUG telling. Great to have you on the net again this evening, Eddie. I know you've had other commitments for quite some while in the kitchen department, so hope you can rearrange things domestically and keep up with us on a regular basis. I know we touched base on the Sunday morning on the older net, but it's nice to have you on this one as well. So, G4IW in the group, M0AUG.
M0AUG in the group from G4IWO. Yeah, okay. Thank you very much. And some interesting comments by people. First of all, AD, on the whether we're at the peak of the solar cycle or not, I think most of the experts and commentators on this say that we're not yet at the peak. I know there's been some debate about it, but you are absolutely correct. There isn't a single peak, and it can be going on for some time. So I think, you know, we can be pretty well guaranteed to have some pretty decent conditions over the next 12 months, and even longer if we do reach the peak in that time and it starts to drop down. You know, we'll still have another 2 or 3 years worth of reasonable conditions on HF. And Fraser, I can confirm that last night Rachel did confirm you are the latest person to join the club, taking us up to 53 members, and she gave that report to the club committee last night. So no doubt she'll be dropping a note out to confirm that as well. As to radio activities, yeah, I did put together an end-fed half wave, only with a big enough ferrite in it to take really no more than 100 watts of sideband. But I've been trying it out. First of all, I was able to do the measurements without rain outside with the antenna analyzer and you know, get the length right of the aerial, because I've put it up as an L-shaped antenna. And I tried it out today and getting very good reports. And in fact, I got an email this evening from contact I made this morning on 40 meters, just saying that he thought I was the strongest signal on the band this morning. So given I was only running 100 watts, that was quite impressive. But I want to do a comparison between the end-fed half wave and the inverted V off center fed dipole using the design of Rick DJ0IP. And I've also bought another 5.6 meter whip and intend to take that up into the hills on my next park on the air to see if I can set it up as a 10 meter delta loop, and what kind of success I have with that compared to the vertical on 10 meters. And finally, I just want to remind everybody that Saturday, June the 8th is our day we're supporting the Welsh Sota activity by climbing Black Hill just outside Holmfirth. But also I'm hoping that some of our members turn up to run portable stations close to the bottom of that ascent, which would take them both on the Pennine Way and in the Peak District National Park. So they will be very much in a desired contact for those looking to get two parks at once for the park hunters. So back to you, Jeff. M0AG in the group, G4IWO.
G4IWO in the group, M0AG returning. Yes, fine, that and the update on the other meeting, etc. I'm assuming that they had a meeting at the pub in Farm Matthias recently, but you don't seem to hear anything about that at all on the website, etc. So I assume the meeting was carry on, etc. But there we are. Over to you there, Dave. G6 is Ellison in the group, M0AUG.
M0AUG in group G6 Ellison. Going back to your comment a little while ago about me having my setup, looks like very well set up. I've just been realising I'm not getting a lot of breakups from the other stations, which does make a nice change. So yeah, I agree. I don't know what I've done, but I've obviously done it right. I know the other week I was playing while people were transmitting, trying to minimise it. But apart from that, I put it down very close to the router as I think it was Nick suggested. In fact, if it got any closer, it would be touching it. And everything does seem to be working well. I'm only using a little stub aerial on the 705. As you say, the 705 does work very, very well. Very pleased with it. I'd also like to get out and try the 7100 and my 6100 again. I haven't managed to use that one for a little while. Maybe I'll bring it up here one evening when we've got the net so I can have a tune around the band while talking to you, the rest of the group. That's a thought, because it takes everything I've got up here and it runs off the long wire as opposed to one of the verticals. I might put that into practice next week and see what happens to each other. Nothing else to add, I'm afraid. M0AUG in the group T6 ZSM.
G6 ZSM in the group, M0AUG returning. Yeah, Dave, it's really good to have you on with a beautiful clear signal. I know in the last, almost 2 years since we started meeting together to get you onto the net originally. We've had our various ups and downs with dongles and Pi and everything else. But tonight was absolutely perfect. I know our next contributor, Andrew, has been a big help to in getting all this set up. And also Charlotte from the Oldham Radio Club. I know helped you with some of the Pi settings in the early days a couple of years ago. I hope it's all about people helping each other and clubs helping each other as well. Over to you there, Andrew. M0 ROL in the group, M0AUG.
Yeah, M0AUG in the group, M0ROL. Yeah, just catching up on a few of the notes. AD, yes, our son's into these ultra marathons. He's got one this coming weekend in the Forest of Dean, and then he's popping over to San Francisco for a week working. Then when he comes back, he's got one in North Wales where I think he has to climb the equivalent of 3 Snowdons or run the equivalent of 3 Snowdons. Yeah, I don't know what drives people to do these ultra marathons, but I certainly couldn't do it. I used to be a photographer for the Ironman competitions, and the last one I did, which was down at Weymouth, there was an old chap. I think I say old. He was sort of late 70s, early 80s, and I think he'd done almost every Ironman events around the world. His times were much better than a lot of the youngsters that's coming through. So I guess that if you're made to run, then that's it. And the Northern Lights, well, Minehead had some terrific photographs. I saw the Northern Lights over North Hill and everything else, and we missed it. We did get up in the middle of the night, not to look at the Northern Lights, but to let the dog out who wanted to go out in the garden, and we should have looked up because they're absolutely stunning apparently from Minehead. So we missed on that one. So hopefully it'll be another occasion. And whilst Nick, and Mike and Andrea clearing your backyard and gardens, I packed up to go on a photographic event tomorrow at Cleve Abbey, which is just up the road from here, with the Camera Club, and so because I don't adhere to all some of the modern equipment all the time, I packed up a medium format film camera and light meters and different types of film stocks for to give it a go. So I think that I won't have too much to be able to post for a few days until I develop the negatives and see what's happened. But hopefully the weather's going to be good enough so that I don't get the camera too wet, and get some decent black and white photographs. So that's all for me. Jeff on the show, so I'll pass it back to you. So M0AUG in the group, this is M0ROL.
M0ROL in the group, M0AUG returning. Thanks for joining us this evening, Andrew. And all I would say, as a former professional photographer myself, and many years ago, and using the medium format cameras, using Hasselblad and Bronica equipment on that one in the old days. And if anybody's interested in seeing some fine photographs, I would just encourage you to look at Andrew's website. There's some spectacular shots on there, and well done, Andrew. And thanks for joining us this evening. Over to you there, Jeff, and if you want to make this your final, that's up to you. Oscar November 8 November Tango in the group, M0AUG.
M0AUG, the group. Oh, 8 November Tango, yeah, okay. I observed many times that a lot of hams are also photographers, are enjoying the two hobbies actually, both hams and photography. So that's quite amazing, and we seem to have some of them here in this round and in the club probably. Yeah, okay, very nice comments there. Congratulations, Adriana, on your test with the clothesline. That's a very good idea. That's actually also one way to have a kind of steeled antenna. You just hang some clothes on it from time to time to give the impression that this is just a clothesline, but on the other hand, you can use it to transmit, although the results would probably not excellent, but it's maybe better than nothing in certain cases. And about the 145 Alive, this is really a very interesting activity. I think this is something we should have also here, because 2 meters FM is more or less dead during the whole day. So there's not so much activity, and we have the space and we have the possibility to use it, and we should actually more use it, I think. And Nick, congratulations on your antenna experiments. That's also very interesting. And by the way, I'm looking forward to the 8th of June. I hope you guys who are on SOTA and experimenting there in the mobiles and things like that, that you will post some frequencies so that maybe I and some others could try to get into contact, and maybe to have some Wales stations also contacting. Okay, I would say safety trees to everyone. Thank you very much, Jeff, for sharing the net. All the very best to people on YouTube there, and especially all the best to you, Bob. Hope to catch you again. All the best and all the courage there that you need to overcome everything there. So we hope to catch you again sooner or later. I would say all the best to everyone, and Mike 0 AUG, the group, 08 November Tango. Go ahead, Jeff.
I'm still here, Jeff.
OZ1JKU.
think that's Dave. I'll come back to you in a minute, Dave. Oscar Marine November Tango in the group M0AUG. And thanks for that. And I'll catch up with you again next week, hopefully there, Jeff. And glad you could join the net this evening. I'm not sure, did I miss you out last time, Dave? I don't think I did, but if I did, I do apologise. G6 still listening in the group M0AUG.
No, you didn't miss me out, Jeff, and I haven't called in either. My mic was beside me. So, not sure what indicated it was me, unless, of course, I belted the mic with my fist, which is possible. M0AUG, the group.
It was me, Jack. Sorry.
Thanks, Dave. I think it was Fraser Oscar's the other one that you did the uniform who called back in there. And we'll pick you up in a minute once I'm back over to Northern Germany again there, Fraser. DL1BJW with DL8BDT. Over to you two for your finals this evening. M0AUG in the group. Take it over, Mike, please.
Delta Lima 1 Bravo Juliet Whiskey with the final. Yeah, first of all, thank you very much for hosting the net, Jeff, and thank you, all of you, for your company. And it's always a pleasure to hear from everybody and to hear the interesting thoughts and ideas, and even sometimes take home some solutions for one's own problems. I wanted to mention one last thing. I saw a video on YouTube by a guy, him from the UK, called Jonathan, M0, and I've forgotten the suffix, but he has several films, several videos there on YouTube channel, and he proposed building a 6-meter triangle, so to speak, a 6-meter delta loop, a 6-meter delta loop, positioned with the broadside up, so that it's a triangle pointing downwards, but nevertheless having a horizontal radiation with that. So it's roughly 2 meters, 2 meters by 2 meters. And for 6 meters should give really excellent results. And this is something which could easily be built into a small garden, or perhaps even tried out in an attic. And I think we'll take a closer look to that and perhaps build one for ourselves for the sporadic E-season. That should be gratifying, I think. So let's try it out. Thank you again for your company. All the very best from myself to you. And looking forward to meeting you next week at the same time. And now I'm passing the microphone to Delta Lima 8 Bravo Delta Tango.
Yeah, this is Delta Lima 8 Bravo Delta Tango. Yes, thank you very much for this interesting evening, and thank you, Jeff, for hosting the net. And yes, Zero ROL, I wish you all the best for your photographer event during the next days. Very interesting. I think if there will be some photographs on your homepage, as I think someone mentioned, I will look that up. And if I have a small hint to a YouTube channel, Kilo 6 Alpha Romeo Kilo has 2 interesting videos. He has more than 2 interesting videos, but 2 special videos now. One which shows very, very special views of the aurora season yet, and these are very, very special sights, and a very interesting video about the smallest solar equipment ever. He has built it. There has been a YouTube challenge because of this topic. And he has built a small SOTA equipment with a true SDX, and from him a homemade very small NFET half wave, and also a very small keyer which fits into the true SDX, and the FT8 equipment with a connector which I've also built from his advice, and I think a smartphone. And with this equipment, he has activated SOTA and POTA spots, and it fits into a pocket nearly. It's quite interesting and amazing to watch. Yes, and thank you for the tip with the 1 to 9, Anand. This might be also a solution. In fact, I've just won 1 to 9 Anand from QRP guys here, and then I think we give it a try, but then I have to use a radio, I think. But this will be worth trying. And Nick, very interesting about your antenna testings there. Will be interesting to see how it goes further on. I think both solutions will fit also in our garden. So this might be interesting how it goes from there. So I wish you all a very pleasant evening, and greetings to all our listeners on the YouTube channel, and especially to Jeff. All the best for him and his family, and greetings to Casey. Yes, and I hope to Bob, and very greetings to Casey. And so I wish you all the best. Hope to meet you again down the log or next week on the net. 73 and 88 from Northern Germany. This was Delta Lima 8, Bravo Delta Tango.
Delta Lima 8, Bravo Delta Tango, Delta Lima 1, Bravo Juliet Whiskey. Thanks, Gemma and Mike, and thanks for your contributions this evening. And I'll update you offline on the local situation here. So thanks again for your friendship, and thanks for contributing to the neck this evening. Okay there, and it's your turn again now, Fraser. Oscar Zulu 1, Juliet Kilo Uniform in the group, M0AG.
Yeah, apologies, Jeff. One of those things. Got left out on one of the overs. That's why I popped my nose in. Thanks very much for confirming the membership, and also you, Jeff, Nick, also. So that's fine. PayPal takes time, so maybe that's why it's. We are now here in the what you call the over horizon daylight thing. So if you look north from this UTH, which we are literally a longhouse and north and south and east and west, it's always daylight in the northern part. And that's part of the reason I missed the aurora the other night. Also, it was cloudy, but not that cloudy. Maybe we could have seen something. So I wasn't aware with the camera. Shouldn't take the camera out. But anyway, that's life. And that will be now 24/7 till September-ish. Maybe where everybody is located on the net here, they will see it. I'm not sure if most people are in the north or down south. Pardon me. David, audio is great last over, so fine. You must have just done something, or maybe it was just one of those things with this digital network. Thanks very much, Jeff, hosting the net as usual. It's good. It's a bit of a task and all the rest of it. And my long wire doesn't work properly. I've got 100 and I think it's 41 or 31 feet of wire down the garden with a port and a 9-to-1 Bantam on it, and it doesn't bloody work. Excuse my extreme here, but it doesn't work properly. And so I'm a bit perplexed. So if anybody's got any good ideas, love to know. And Adriana, well, you're not far from us, so you're welcome to come up for a day if you want to. It's about 300k each way. It's a bit of a long drive, but you can stay overnight if you want to as well. So invitation to you both. We're not that far apart. Okay, all for me. Have a good weekend, everybody, and many thanks indeed, as I said, Jeff hosting the net, and I'll try and make it next week. I just have one JKU now clear and off just listening to the finals.
Hello everyone, JKU in the group M0AEG returning. Thanks for joining me this evening, Fraser, and even though the first transmission didn't get through completely, we were okay from there, and we do appreciate you joining with that. We've got a fair old spread on this net, and it's very interesting that the whole concept of the Denby Dale Club was to make it available to people not only all over the UK, but people who wanted to join as well. And arising out of that, we've got a good group, and this is a particularly good group for the digital net on a Thursday evening. And enjoy the company of everybody who's on. So thanks for being part of that, Fraser. Look forward to catching up with you next week. And you're definitely on the member list. I've just checked on the website. Okay, back over to you for your file there, Eddie. And G6MJQ in the group, M0AUG.
M0AUG, G6MJQ. Yeah, just two thoughts on antennas. What about a slinky antenna made up of two slinkies? For those who don't know what a slinky is, it's a toy children play with. It's a coiled up spring wire, and they send them down the stairs. They walk down the stairs, these slinkies. So, being used as a loft antenna, two slinkies together, stretch them out, and feed them with, or put a ballad at the top, and then put your coax up to it, or what have you, or a feed line, ladder fit the line, and see how you get on with that. But then I thought, well, maybe you could use it as an inverted V out in the field. Two slinkies, put them in a bag, no tangles at all. You just stretch them out, attach them to a fiberglass pole, stretch them out to the ground on either side, and see how you do with that. And as regards NFN wires, my advice from practical experiences, don't try and use a 20-meter or a resonant lens. Go for something in between. I calculated mine's about 26 meters with a 9-to-1 on them, and on the 897, as I say, I can even go on 80 meters with the 897 without a tuner at all. So it's better the higher the frequency, but nothing is above 2-to-1. So that's my thoughts for today, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Thanks, Jeff. Good to be back on again. Have a good week, everybody, and best 7-3s and 7-3s to those listening as well. Back to you, Jeff. M0AUG. Oh, and if you need some testing done, as we've discussed last Saturday and Sunday, I'm available. Just drop me a line. M0AUG, G6MJQ.
G6 and Jack, you in the group M0 AEG returning. Yeah, great. You've been able to rejoin the net again on a Thursday evening, Adrian. And I'll no doubt speak to you hopefully on the Oldham net on Sunday morning. Just jumping a step out of line here, I'm just going to put Dave on G6LSN before calling on Nick to bring a finale. So G6LSN in the group M0AUG. Your signals have been great this evening, Dave. Over to you.
M0AUG in the group G6LSN. Thanks, Jeff. Nice to hear that from long last, and hopefully you'll be the same next week. Thank you very much, Jeff, once again for running the net, and enjoyed the varied content. My last piece of information, my pupil that I'm teaching at the moment had never ever driven on the motorway, and I took her on the M5 last week. She was okay, she did it. I didn't push her, she stayed in lane 1, and the last thing she said when we left, I want to go on the motorway again. So I must have done something right. So this Saturday, we're going on the motorway again. Hopefully not too busy. 73s to all, and catch you hopefully next week. And good night to all those on YouTube. T6LSN, going clear.
G6LSN in the group M0AG. Yeah, thanks very much for joining us, Dave, and best of luck with your pupil on the M5 again. And thanks for joining us on the net. And again, lovely clear signal. So whatever you've done with it, don't touch it. It'll do fine. Over to you for your final, please, Nick, and to close down the net as well, just before I do. G4IWO in the group M0AUG.
M0AUG in the group from G4IWO. Yes, thank you very much, Jeff. And just a couple of points before I conclude and bring up the messages from YouTube. Yes, I will post the frequencies that we operate on June the 8th onto the WhatsApp group. So look out for those, and hopefully we can set up some contacts. I think the intention is to run both 2 meters and HF. And Paul, as you know, M0AIA is a very, very keen HF and VHF operator. So I think just between the two of us, let alone the others that are coming up the mountain there with us, we will be able to put out some good signals. And just on YouTube, Bob has just said thank you very much indeed for streaming the D-Star meeting, and he's very much enjoyed listening to the net tonight. He has also reported that he is likely to be off here until after June the 9th, when he'll be returning back home. So he's away for a few more weeks. So I'm very, very pleased, Bob, that you've been able to listen to us this evening, and totally acknowledge, as you said to Rachel on YouTube this evening, that it's been a very rough few weeks. And Rachel also said that Bob and his family are very much in her prayers. So some nice comments to each other there on the YouTube channel. And of course, just including Bob, that applies to all of us, both to you and Kathy, and your family in total. And just in concluding, as you know, Ken EA is operating from EA5 until the end of the month. He's going to do another couple of weeks out there, so do look out for him. I know Jeff ON8NT worked him today. He will also publish his activities on the WhatsApp group, so if you're around and can catch him, he's always delighted and very pleased to work, as everyone here knows, members of Denby Dale whenever he can. So I'd like to thank you, Jeff, very much for sharing the net tonight, and to looking after everyone in your normal way. It's been a very, very good net tonight, and a nice group of people and a great number of contributions covering various parts of the world directly tonight on the radio, but also, of course, following us on YouTube. So on behalf of Denby Dale Amateur Radio Club, I'd like to wish everyone a very pleasant evening, and particularly a big a thank you to those that listen to this on the YouTube channel after the net is finished and we've closed down. It remains on the YouTube channel for those that want to catch up on this. So if you hear us, do come and join us live if you can do, or if you don't, drop us an email and we will, or a comment in YouTube, and we will feed that back into the net if you don't have the ability to take part in the digital net. So on that, Jeff, thank you very much. Good evening to everyone, 73s to everyone, and I'll pass the microphone back to you. M0 AUG in the group, G4IWO.
Right, we were in the group M0AG returning. Yeah, thanks for your closing comments.
We've lost you, Jeff. Sorry, but you've obviously gone some problem.
Yeah, this is G4IWO, just responding to Fraser there. Yeah, I think we've lost Jeff. I think he's had one or two problems this evening on the connection. And as we know on these digital nets, it's not quite as bad as HF propagation for unpredictability, but we do have our own fun, don't we, with cutouts occasionally, which affect some people and not others. But Jeff, if you back listening to us again, M0AUG, we did lose you after about 2 seconds of your final comments there. So before closing properly, I'll just pass the microphone back to Jeff if he can hear us. If not, good night, everyone, and see you next week.
G4IW in the group M0AG returning. Yeah, fine and that, Nick. I don't know what happened there, but obviously it would appear that I dropped out there. So I was just thanking everybody for joining me this evening and all the contributions you gave, and also to everybody for your friendship on this Denby Dale Amateur Radio Society net. Look forward to catching up with you next week. And I wouldn't be surprised if we get a picture coming over from a certain gentleman in Belgium in a minute. So 73s and 88s for now, and catch you all next week. Cheers for now, everybody.
Yeah, 73s, Jeff, and 73s, Nick. What's that one, JK? Go on, see.
Thanks for the windmill, Jeff.